My name is Malikar. Nice to meet you. Welcome back to Tries Through Daybreak. Proceed. I wasn't going to wait a lot. 23. We why? It had been 8 days since the event of Horatio came to a close. After the crisis was resolved, it was announced that the explosion at Van Star Palace and Creel's destruction were the work of Almara. However, as if to quell any unease, it was also promptly announced that Almara was no more thanks to the CID and a number of external collaborators. With the last remaining nuclear device being recovered, the state of emergency around Edith was lifted the next day. This happened in tandem with fervent reports that the CEOs of the Kinsey Company and ETWS had been formally arrested. This was a shock to many. The Kinsey Company's products were beloved across the continent, and ETWS vehicles seen as a major status symbol. It was almost unfathomable that both men had been backloaded into funding a terrorist organization. The Kinsey Company CEO being the father of a famous A-rank bracer added to much of the discuss as well. However, as his daughter personally led the charge on his arrest, the general public sentiment was one of compassion and concern, and her attempt to turn in her bracer badge was summarized rejected by the guild's headquarters in Le Mans. Calvar's economy, which had been briefly thrown into disarray by the state of emergency, was quick to return to relatively normality. Yet something will never return. The impending end of reparation continued to emit a small degree of unease among the populace. Still, this is the culmination of events had no ill effect on President Graham Hart's approval rating. Indeed, they only served to increase it. His office stated that a memorial service for Krell will be held during December 3rd Revolution Festival. Following that will be quite the review. The Calvar military's newest weapon will be on display, a symbol of the country overcoming its grief and moving forward with great strength. Is today? No, December.
So that's that, huh?
Now what?
Yeah, well, Melchior's still on the run, which does bug me. But the authorities in the guild have taken out all their bases and secured any routes that could be used to flee the country. Their partners in crime are being taken care of too, right?
Indeed, the Gralsritter and Iscariot have put aside their differences for now to pursue the gardens. Several Jaegers, including those of Ikaruga, and even the Society have also been working toward that end.
Meanwhile, Heiwei and Marduk spearheaded the effort to expose all of Almada's connections. I believe their findings, which reveal a number of associates, have since been sold to the CID.
That's quite a lot.
Man, Gen and Sao never miss a beat.
Abby and the rest of our people have been hard at work with Eisenshield too.
As for the nuclear weapon, we don't need to worry about that either. Professor Hamilton and the other disciples supervised its disassembly, so it's no longer a threat. Professor Callahan isn't believed to have made any more, and the Mafia won't be capable of making more themselves anytime soon.
Even if the one sword capable of detonating them was still in their possession, they would still need a device to be detonated. I might add that Calvert is aiding the Congregation for the Sacraments in going through and clearing the rubble that was once Vashtar Palace. They expect to have finished the task and found that sword together with the halberd and armor artifacts by mid-next month.
None of them can be used by anyone but their rightful owner anyway, right? I guess once that's wrapped up, we'll be able to say this whole thing's well and truly over.
I suppose so, yes. To think we've persevered through so much.
We sure have.
I'm still worried about Melchior, though. Just to me, it's strange how no one seems to have any idea where he is.
I still can't believe what he did to his own boss. I don't know if I'll ever be able to understand how that guy thinks. Not that I want to.
Psychopath does psychopathic things. News at 11. Just how it is. I wish I could have taken revenge on the last asshole responsible for my bro's deaths. But can't win them all, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that one to the Oathbreakers people. They say you gotta fight poison with poison. Now it's time to see if he'll live up to that old saying.
Right. But at least now, the world can finally be at ease.
Agnes? Are you still feeling guilty that you couldn't stop it all from happening? I am, but I'm also trying to tell myself that I did everything that I could, including for the children of Horatio. Even if I can't help but feel like I put a lot of people out for nothing. That's not true at all. Perhaps there may be somehow would see your action as self-righteous, but I believe they were meaningful. Of course they were, and I'm not in the business of telling my assistants what's right and wrong either. You did what you believe was right, that's good enough for me. So you got my thanks too. Well, you're welcome, but I couldn't have done any of it without a lot of help from others. Not everything had a happy conclusion, since Elaine's father ended up arrested. But I'm still so glad that we are all able to gather like this again. Yeah, me too. Our foes were a terrifying force to be reckoned with, but through everyone's cooperation we triumphed. You deserve a lot of praise yourself, you know. Thinking back, there were a lot of times when I don't know what we would have done without you. We owe you so much to the goddess, or maybe to our chief having the devil's own luck? Hey, could it be? Either that or cause I made Lady Luck my bitch. What does that mean? Will you stop that? You really can't help yourself, can you? Okay, we got all, now what? So we now have 6. I doubt I could have ever gotten this far without all of you, so... It was 6 or it was 7 that it were? We were happy to help. That just leave 2 now, right? Okay. There are supposed to be 8 in all, so that should be the case. Professor Hamilton has been looking into where they could be, but nothing's come up so far. None have been discovered in any of Almara bases or the Guardian's hideout either. I'm sure they will turn up eventually, just gotta keep looking.
So, now that we've dealt with Almada, things should be back to business as usual before long. There's still gonna be plenty on our plates, especially in the short term. But it's about time you guys started thinking about whether or not you want to keep working here.
Van, I suppose it's getting to be that time. The way things are going, my primary test will be complete before much longer. I've still got other things I want to do here in the capital at least. And hey, I'm not even employed here. Wasn't really talking to you, but since you seem so dead set against being here anyway, why not go home already? Well, I would, but the paparazzi are such a headache and the food here is so good. I get that they are a hassle, but come on, they have to have given up on your story by now. And Nina seems worried about you, so even if you don't go see your family, you should still go back to your old place. I will eventually. What are you, my mother? Perhaps you should discuss the situation with the owner of your apartment? I was talking to you though. What? They're still converting all the trouble Amara caused, but I doubt that lasts more than a month. So unless I start taking on more subcontract jobs, I'm not gonna need to pay out for any assistance anymore or have the budget to it. Van. But I plan to find those last 2 Genesis, but it's gotta be on the side while I do other work from here on. So while I'm helping hand when unswap would be nice, it's all gonna need you for. Side, you're gonna be loaded up with student council work for a good while after next month rolls around. That's true, but what kind of work? There is going to be some big event taking place at Agnes School in a few months. There's no need to hurry them into a decision. As you say, you still intend to help deal with the aftermath of Armada's actions. I will remain here to assist you with that as well, and the more we have on our side, the better. You are not wrong there.
I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that you should be thinking about this stuff. The Revolution Festival's in 3 days, and we're gonna be drowning in work until then for sure. Been a while since we could focus on 4 SPGs and Edith, so hope you're ready to dive in soon as breakfast is done.
Oh! Huh? I'll meet you guys back here at 10:30. What are you gonna be up to in the meantime, Agnes? Oh, not much. I do have something that I need to do, though. I think I should take care of a software update that needs installing now, actually. Version 3.6.2 of Kitty Engine that was released last night. I was thinking the same thing. I will just get going for now then. Until later. So she pushed an update, huh? Our ex-Kitty sure keeps herself busy. And I just know her workload in Horatio must have been nuts too. This is for the best, I think.
Yeah, just tell me what you want.
He hasn't done anything out of the ordinary since Horatio. There's still a lot of mystery to be solved about both her and the Grendel. But those got nothing to do with the others, not even Agnes.
No! This is all wrong! This isn't who I am! This isn't me!
I was right all along. I found it. Seems my work here is now done.
Still, maybe Master was right and I laid that on them out of nowhere. There's still time until we need to head out. Why don't I go check on them? Dude, what? Must been working on stuff for Marduk, probably about Almara. There's still a decent chunk of time until past, so I better get out of her hair.
Oh, Mr. Arkwright.
Sorry, I won't have come in if I know you were working. All the Almara stuff almost wrapped up.
Yes, we've been able to pinpoint groups related to them, their dummy corporations, and other illegal channels. I admit to some surprise at just how far outside of Calvard their reach spreads. But Marduk has largely decontaminated the areas over which it has influence.
Your chief of security had a big role to play in that too, I'm sure. So, who wants to be torn detail? We'll use this as a chance to expand Marduk's market share.
I suspect you would be on the winning side of that bet. Between the war against the Empire and the Tower and Crossbell appearing soon after, it feels like too much is happening too fast in Zemuria. As other countries seek to catch up with the Republic and its latest innovations, Zyphas, assault frames, I imagine the need for Marduk's services will only expand going forward.
Makes it absolutely clear we're living in a time of big change. And speaking of, you started thinking of the next step for yourself at all?
I am but a humble concierge. Nothing more, nothing less. My focus for the foreseeable future remains supporting you, Mr. Arkwright, be that with Mare or with your stun caliber. I could do most of my work remotely as I did before, of course, but I am now aware of just how much more inefficient that is.
Gotcha. Sure, I wish I knew why your people love to have their eye on me so damn much. But I ain't gonna tell you what to do. We got an equal deal going on between us. Just keep in mind that starting next month, I'm not gonna need as much office help as I have been. Which is probably fine for you. Your plant's full enough without dealing with the day-to-day around here.
Well, I suppose I do. Though I would like to believe I'm making a fair contribution irrespective of that.
Something up?
It's nothing, really. I was only thinking that I might not be able to help you from next month onward after all. You see, next month will mark 1 year since I was given this body, and it's about time it was given some thorough maintenance.
Okay, you scared me. I thought you were going to say to somebody else. Oh, right.
Depending on matters here and the overall project status, I might have to return to my former environment. In that event, I would have no choice but to revert to assisting you remote.
Now, hold up there. You really gonna be okay with that?
So you have an inkling as to what that former environment was? What gave it away? Was it something about the way I work? No, I suppose there isn't any point in me knowing.
Nah, it wasn't anything like that. Just...
Please, don't misunderstand. As you're aware, Marduk is a logical, impartial corporation. So long as I keep demonstrating I can provide value to them, I don't doubt they will keep letting me use this body. In that regard, our relationship is quite equitable. I even plan to purchase it from them if all goes well.
That's an option? A state-of-the-art artificial body can run cheap, though.
It most certainly is costly. But with my salary, I think it's possible that I could have enough Mira saved in a few years. My current arrangement here earns me even more than my remote work did, too. So I would like to keep at it as long as possible.
Hey, happy to help. So I'm curious, just how high a salary are we talking anyway?
Well, I can't give you a specific number since that's classified information. But about enough to buy an Etwas entry-level sedan.
You could buy a used apartment in the suburb with that kind of money. I don't believe I've ever divulged how I spend my savings in retrospect. I'm not sure what my job responsibilities will entail after next month's maintenance, but I believe I will continue to explore my transfer options. They do seem quite attractive.
Hello, Van.
Oh, is it time to go already?
You still got time, don't worry, but damn, your drone is something. Their speech is thrift and a holos, but it's wild how you can hold a whole conversation with them.
Yeah, they don't have complete free will, but they do have a networked sense of self. Zeros is the same. They're around the same quality as those combat shells in the Empire, from what I understand. The other mare is leagues ahead of them on a technical scale, but Hades knows how long it'll take humanity to make something similar.
That's been tough, as even for Hamilton and Krokta.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking singularities here. Still, we know it's theoretically possible. That was proven by what happened behind the scenes 2 years ago. You've heard all about that, I assume.
A bit, yeah. I guess I don't even need to ask what are you gonna do once you graduate. Feels like given that you will be focusing on orbital drones research, or have you got your sights set even higher?
I'd like to help the professor with her work at some point, even if I don't feel like I'm quite ready yet. Still, I'd rather finish things here before moving on to something else. Working here has been incredible for broadening my horizons too, so I think continuing my studies here would be more than worth its while.
Do you think?
Basel has patently more in the way of facilities, but the orbital network is lightning quick these days. It's even helped me attend lectures at the Institute remotely, so it hasn't been half as inconvenient as I was expecting. Being here will also let me take part in the project to upgrade the network currently in use in Edith and the surrounding area. Though at some point, I'd really like to broaden my studies at the Epstein Foundation, ZCF, and Rhineford.
Take me with you. Makes sense. Man, our little boy who could only think of protecting his grandmother home is ready to take the world by storm. With how grown up you are, you should have just joined us in the springs instead of being shy.
What? Who are you, Aaron?
My bad, I only hear it after it came out my mouth. But yeah, compared to the others, it hasn't been long since you moved in. If you are satisfied with the setup you got going on here, I don't see the harm in working from here for a while longer. Plus you got Paulette to breathe down your neck if your health starts to nosedive from researching all night.
You're probably right. It's nice how she always worries. Still, are you sure you aren't gonna need my help after this month? Almada might be out of the picture, but the issue of the Genesis is still ongoing. And there's still a lot we don't know about Mare, the Grendel, or Marduk either. Then there's whatever Yang, Professor Cronkite, is working on with the President.
You got a point, there's a lot going on. So if I need help with stuff, I'll be sure to come knocking. That means you come knocking if you need help with stuff, too. I can investigate whatever you want, even down the color of Crocti's underwear.
That's so random. And don't think I didn't notice you patting me on the head.
You've become very red, Katra.
You catch a cold? Let me feel.
My temperature is perfectly normal, thank you very much.
I did want to mention, don't feel obliged to shoulder my workload. I appreciate it, but solving problems myself helped me learn more about the bigger picture. You never know when that knowledge base may come in handy. You look satisfied, Quatri. You should assist you, Quatri. Are those Central Eastern and Western history textbook?
Oh, yeah! Agnes gave me the Western one. They're supposed to be the same edition, but there's a bunch of little differences between their contents and viewpoints. It's been really eye-opening comparing them, even if there's also lots of stuff I don't really understand.
Well, ain't you a buddy scholar? If you can get your hands on Far Eastern version, I bet you find all kind of difference there too.
I was thinking the same thing. So, Aaron promised to give me his old copy. You know, before I met you, I barely left the village. Most of my life was spent inside of it. But Ida wasn't kidding when she talked about how big the outside world is. Even if I dedicated my entire life to studying, I doubt I could learn all there is to know about it.
Probably, yeah. Listen, I meant what I said earlier, but I probably should have brought it up nowhere the way I did.
No, I totally get where you're coming from. The timing is right. Now that Almada's gone, I feel like I've been able to avenge Ida's death. It sounds like Abi's willing to forgive me for disobeying his orders, too. I also miss Umi, my mom, and my siblings Lana and Camille, to tell you the truth. But I've also gotten used to living in Calvert, and I have a lot of fun at Sunday school. And more than anything else, I'd be really sad to say goodbye to you and everyone here.
Huh. Still, we're not talking about tomorrow or even next week, and even if you do go home, it's not like we'll never see each other again. If your goal is to become a real warrior, though, then I think the choice is clear.
I guess you're right.
Though you don't have to go down the path if you don't want to. There's plenty of things you could do off the battlefield. You could even try following a path more like Sylphie.
You really think I could be like Fee?
I'm not pushing you to join the guild or anything, to be clear. Just saying it may be better than you following in your father's footsteps.
Yeah, I think so too. Still, I never even considered becoming a bracer.
Oh, shoot.
Is it okay if I think more about it?
Yes. Think about it as long as you want. There's no rush. And just be ready to head out in a bit, okay?
Okay.
It's made me think about what else I can do besides just going back home and being a warrior. I think I'm confusing myself about it. There are just so many cool options. So I wanna take the time to really think it through. Thanks for all the help along the way, Van. Oh no, there is somebody. Honestly, kinda nice to have you still acting the same around time like this.
What? You come to talk about that cold bunk you said to the kiddos? If it was gonna eat away at you, you shouldn't have said it in the first place. Looks lame when a dad past his prime sulks over his teenage kids.
Quite finding ways to call me old. Besides, you seem to have it in your head I wasn't talking to you, but I was. You gotta have plans to go back home eventually, right?
Sure do. I'm a born and bred Longport boy, and I always will be. But I've only been here for 3 months. That's barely enough time to miss me. So unless I've got some specific reason to head back, I'm staying put. And I wouldn't mind going to a few other places, like Crossbell or Arabonia.
You're welcome, take me.
Hell, I'd even put Eastern Zemuria on the table.
Look at you go.
Knock it off with the my baby's growing up vibe. Oh, and let's get one thing straight. Me staying in the capital doesn't mean I'm gonna be at your beck and call. If the girls left and this place turned into a total sausage fest, I don't even want to think about how sad a sight that'd be.
Hey, don't give me that look. I'm not a dirge or pity, alright? By the way, your old problem ain't showing any sign of resurfacing, right?
You mean that tyrant? Yeah, nothing there. Yen can call me a reincarnation all he wants, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm as me as I can be.
Yeah, we never talked about it again, per se.
I decide what I want to do with my life, not some dusty old relic from the ancient past.
You are one of a king cocky little bastard, you know that.
And what's that supposed to mean? Don't be such a freaking creep. Anyway, get lost so I can have my fun. Though, if you don't mind waiting to kick some ass on the clock, that'll give me time to go tap some ass off the clock.
We ain't putting off work for that. Just how much have you been getting around when I haven't been looking? Who died and made you my grandpa? Go read the kids a bedtime story or something. Just let me do my thing, yeah? Got some booty calls I wanna make.
So you're going back to your apartment?
Yeah, I guess that's the plan. I must have worried you sick, huh? It looks like Buzz Raiders finally given up on their stupid obsession with me, so it seems safe enough to live there again.
There's been so much going on lately that I'm sure they've got bigger fish to fry now.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. I've actually been wanting to thank you for helping out Judith for a while now. Please pass on my regards to everyone else as well, including the family who runs the bistro.
Now hold your horses! I'm the one who's been helping him out, so why is he the one getting thanked?
Because I'm sure that you just weaseled your way into his trips outside the capital without taking no for an answer. I don't know all you've been up to, but I do know that you were able to return in one piece thanks to Arkwright Solutions' efforts. And with how much I respect you as my senior in the industry, I think it's only natural for me to want to say thank you.
So you respect me that much, huh? I mean, not that it isn't perfectly natural for you to respect me, of course.
Never takes much of to butter her up though. I'm sure our young lady here just so happened to be an expert.
She's become such a sassy little thing. She was so cute and polite when she first started out, but look at her now. All that success must be going to her head.
That was 3 years ago, right? So I don't know if 15 earlier or late for starting out in the industry.
It's not late, but it's not really early either. I started acting at 14 myself. A lot of actors and actresses get their first roles when they're children even, which just goes to show how much of an unusual case she is. She ended up going from a rookie to a top actress in 3 years, which is just crazy.
I can see why, though. I've seen a few of her films, and it's interesting seeing how different her approach to the craft is compared to yours. You can handle any kind of role that's thrown at you, yeah, but she just fully becomes the character she's playing without even trying.
I didn't realize you knew your way around different acting techniques. I agree with you too. Her performance in Wolf's Requiem was amazing, but Gloria just blew me away.
Yeah, her as Sheena Drake was something else. The media kicked up all that fuss about an Eastern playing the role, but in the end it was hard to see her as anything other than Sheena Reborn.
Boy, she's 4 years my junior and already she's nipping at my heels. She's sure not making it easy to stay top dog. But I say bring it on. I don't plan to go down without a fight.
Good, I got nothing but respect for that spunk you got in you. Real shame about the rest of you, though.
You better watch your darn mouth. And while I'm at it, I think what you said earlier was pretty out of line, too.
Right.
So, now that we've dealt with Almada, things should be back to business as usual before long. But it's about time you guys started thinking about whether or not you want to keep working here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Wow, I didn't expect you to outright admit it. Then...
Still, you don't want people butting in on your side hustle either, do you?
Well, no, but that's not the same thing. I inherited my techniques from my mom and hers before her, and while they might not be legal, I still think the world needs... Oh, I get you now. I don't know what your secret is, but you've got something you don't want people to get involved in too, huh? Or I guess, something you can't afford to let them get involved in.
Anyway, as two people who transform into things a teenager may dream up, we gotta look out for each other. Don't know if I'm down to get caught living with an actual criminal though, so you should still probably find some other place to live.
But I really don't want to give this place up. Well, I've got my next film's premiere coming up, so I'll go back to my old place before the festival at least. I just wish I didn't have a bunch of stuff to report to Mom and Grammy first.
But enough about me. I get why you draw that line where you do. But the way I see it, or the way they see it, I think it's fine. Up. So this is where you snuck off to. Yes, I had a quick errand to attend to. Are you all preparations squared away? Preparation? Feels like a bit of a stretch to call him that, but yeah, I'm ready. We still got plenty of time, so no need to rush. Well, there's rushing and there's being efficient. Okay, she's in the middle of something. I will bug her later, after my stuff done. Oh! Well, looks who's made himself right at home.
As you well know, I shouldn't even be alive right now. I've decided to make the most of this chance, to try things I couldn't even imagine in my previous life, and have found myself rather enjoying them. The magazines you used to read were quite inspirational, if I'm being honest.
Hey, wait, so this is my fault? If his hornet of more respectable students ever found this out, they had my head. So Ashala isn't the uncooperative jackass I was expecting?
Indeed. He may be a man of few words, but he is an honorable, just, and determined one, capable of seeing the greater picture. Rank-and-file armed monks trust him, so I would be confident in Iscariot's handling of matters, if he were the only one they answer to. However,
We got his boss to worry about their captain, right? The one all 30,000 members of the Papal Guard and Iscariot answer to.
correct. They took up their post after my retirement, so I've never met them. I believe their identity is considered a top secret, even among the Congregation for Divine Worship, to whom the Papal Guard also answers. I suspect only a small number of people know who they are. Several hundred Iscariot monks, the cardinals of the Congregation for Divine Worship, the commander of the Gralsritter, and the Pope. Whoever they are without a doubt the congregation's wild card.
But what reason will someone like that have to get the right-hand man involved in this? The Genesis, but they're more of a glass reader kinda deal. Actually, why are you even telling me all this stuff in the first place? I'm already like magnet for info I don't wanna know as it is.
It's far too late to be caring about such things, my young friend. Still, whether they are criminal or legal, your old friends or your assistants, I genuinely believe that the more people you know and interact with, the better. Who we meet shapes who we become. Be these relationships fortunate or foul, we are all the more human because of them. Surely the past 5 years have taught you this.
Well, people's nature just don't change easily, I guess. Having you in Horatio was a huge help, as huge a help as it is having you here now. So I count this relationship among the fortunate ones at least. So keep sticking around so the younger generation can kick back a bit, yeah? I paid you as thanks, but I don't think you take the mirror. At least let me get you something even nicer than that jacket you have taken a liking to. Anyway, we have still got plenty of time left, so I'll go ahead and leave you be. Take it easy, master.
There are things in life you cannot avert your eyes from, no matter how hard you try. Whether you can realize that fundamental truth is down to you, Van.
I have said my piece, all that's left is for you to look within yourself and make your decision. Now then, I need something to pass the time, perhaps a bike magazine or two will help. A special feature? Hard pounding course with hard stopping views, color me intrigue. Oh. So what's he doing now? Sleeping or standby mode, I guess? Well, no point waking him up. Sleep tight. Where are everybody? Ah, down. Okay.
Whoops.
Oh, you scare me. Oh, hi Van. We just wrapped up the breakfast menu for the day. What she said, no more from the morning menu for you. Don't care if you didn't get enough to eat. You lost your chance. I'm fine, I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't need to eat that much. I just dropped by to kill time until I leave to work. Also, I just wanted to say I'm so glad you all made it back here safe and sound. I second that. Sometimes you make for noisy neighbors, but lately it's hard to rest easy when things get too quiet. Especially now that I won't be seeing my Creole regular anymore. Oh yeah, I guess you and that guy from Creole had some history, huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, since he helped with the restaurant stock, we got to know him pretty well. We'll be going to his memorial service, as you can imagine. It's only fair we send him off after everything he did for us. Right, makes sense. Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so things should still be lively around the office. But the source of the issue gone now, so my assistant may split off soon. I'll be leaving it when I see it. It's a little hard to imagine they will. Oh, I was gonna ask earlier, but about that racer, did he stop by again? He has, he actually stopped by yesterday, thanks for asking. That's good, I guess. He alright? I suppose, he enjoyed his meal at least. What's the verdict? Anything between them or what? What? You don't gotta glare at me like that. Oh, are you talking about Maxime? He's funny in a lame way. Dude's got his work cut out for him before anyone respect him as a father. Good luck, pal. I'm relieved to see you're all back home. Yumi's energetic as ever, so you can just leave her without someone to play with. You got it. About that time you lot show it up. It's almost noon. Move your lazy asses. Yeah, he's not in a good mood. Guess I'll just head out and keep myself busy. There's somebody on the top. Were you talking about Maxime? He's funny. Harsh, don't let him hear that, okay? The top. Not this top. Not that top. That top. Here. Ah, oh, you moved. Girl singing.
Okay, that should do it. Oh, Van, is it almost time to go?
It's getting there, but we still got some time. I can't believe how lifelike this guy is. Professor Hamilton's students are something else.
I was told there's more to him sleeping in the sun than just imitating dogs, too. He can turn the sun's rays into orbital energy.
Makes sense. I remember that being one of the areas Professor Hamilton was researching. Still, I know you got real comfort on here over the past few months. But it's almost time to start planning the next school festival, ain't it? Isn't the student council gonna get real busy soon?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm starting to feel the pressure, to tell you the truth. The end of April still feels like a long ways off now, but I know it'll be here before we know it. I was able to attend last year's festival just after enrolling, and there was just so much to see and do over those 3 days. It was hard to believe that the whole event was planned and executed by students alone, even if quite a lot of them did take part.
Yeah, it's a stubble of spring in the capital at this point, especially with how many people check it out. And with your current president at the helm, I can see this upcoming one being a festival for the books.
The other student council members and I are a little worried about that. So you did attend Aramis then? Just like Elaine and Mr. Kincaid.
Yeah. I dropped out not long after becoming a second-year student though. Elaine and I were in the same year, while Ren was a third year. The second he had the chance, Ren took on being student council president, cause of course he did. And cause we know him for so long, we start helping out with student council work too. Then Elaine stepped up and took the role of vice president once the former one decided to go abroad for a while. So there you go, that's how the festival became to be under one man's merciless watch.
I see. Of course, after getting to know you so well, I can imagine that whatever you organized for it was anything but typical. I'm sure Elaine was less than impressed with it. While Mr. Kincaid thought it would be funny and thoroughly approved, even though he probably shouldn't have.
It's like you were right there with us. I still remember my first drink at the after party back then too. Man, it was so good. You know how much of a sweet tooth I got, but not even the bitterness of the alcohol could keep me from cracking a smile.
I should have known. You were pushing the boundaries of legality even as a teenager. So the festival came to a close, and the student council elections were held in May. That's when Elaine became the next president, and when you dropped out, I assume. You did it without warning, too. Without so much as a single discussion with anyone beforehand. So, how right am I?
You sure you are not psychic? It's like you are in my head.
Well, I know the average school year at RMS, so I just put two and two together after seeing the way you talk to them. That, and these last few months have also done wonders for my personal growth. I used to be this shy little girl who was afraid to leave her comfort zone. Someone who couldn't even speak her mind to the one family member she wished she could the most. But now, I feel like a whole new me. I can walk a little further, and have learned to say what's in my heart.
The lip syncing thingy is not just me, right?
I have everyone here to thank for that. But most of all, I have you to thank for that.
I thought divining my high school years was enough of a surprise, but you weren't done, huh? At this rate, you're gonna have everyone running around at your beck and call even more than Brené.
Oh, stop. I doubt that'll be the case. Though there is one person I wish would pay a bit more attention to me.
What's up?
Nothing. I was just thinking that I still have a long road ahead of me.
So you got to talk to him a bit on the phone after what happened in Horatio, but that's it? Yes, so I'm used to that by now. It seems like this year's Revolution festival is going to be a big one too, what with the memorial service and more besides. It's no wonder he doesn't have much time to dedicate to me right now. But he did say we could get together after the ceremony is over, thankfully. Really? I guess that's better than nothing, and at least you can still see him. That is true. Compared to Elaine, I'm very fortunate. I can't even imagine what she must be going through. She's amazing to have been able to call what did, to make what must have been an excruciating decision, even if it was the right one. I don't think there are many people who could have followed through on that, racer or otherwise. I hate that the hard times clearly aren't over for her. But if you could just be there for her, I think she would like that very much. I don't mean to put that responsibility squarely on your shoulder, of course. Mr. Kincaid and the guild should be there for her too, but still. I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna give her the cold shoulder or anything. It won't make up for what I did 7 years ago, but I like to think I can be there for her in some other ways. Sounds like she won't be back here for a while though. She got a ton left to do in Horatio. What's that look for? Not proactivity enough, you think? Oh, don't mind me. I'm sure just knowing you want to comfort her will mean a lot in itself, really. Okay, yeesh, can't always please a teenager once they get to that age, I guess. Still. What is it? Why are you laughing? You loverbirds wanna get a room? I didn't know you were all here. It is already time to leave then? You may wanna get your eyes checked if you thought you were seeing Heart. Oh, I don't know. Did you hear anything special, Zero? Not you too, Quatri. just making small talk, honest. I feel a little better now, to be honest. Our future may still be uncertain, but for now, we can continue to take each day as it comes. That we can. I'm sorry I shouldn't have said what I said earlier. Van, our boss is such a little troublemaker. Don't sweat it. They say not being able to read the room comes with old age. You know, one day you're gonna realize I'm still in my prime. It's always the same with you two. Huh. Forget it. Let's just see what's on the dock for today. The Revolutionary Festival is 3 days out, and I won't be surprised if the aftermath of Armada destruction led to problems too. Still only 10:30 and there's a lot of us, so I can think we can cover all the district in this part of town today. Right, then let's get to work. Agnes, Fairy, and Aaron.
All the lights, they're passing by, and all my thoughts, they multiply. I see it flash before my eyes.